Hello everybody and welcome to this special presentation of the White Noise Broadcast Network. My name is E1-P1. I'm the founder of Florida Paranormal Research and the host of Saturday Night Paranormal. And today I'm going to bring you up close and personal to the men and women of the Florida Paranormal Research Group and give you a little hint as to why they're so passionate about what they do.
I believe that we're extremely close. Probably within a couple of years, I believe, of actually going to be able to have a piece of equipment, almost like a telephone, where you can actually pick it up and actually have a conversation with maybe a great-great-great-grandfather or something like that. I think we're probably 2 years away from that technology.
Each person has their own reasons for getting into a paranormal research group, so I decided to ask my members, what is it that got you in, and what were the circumstances that brought you to this group and that made you so passionate about the paranormal? And here's the responses I got.
The reason I got into Florida Paranormal Research is probably a phone call from my mother. My wife, Red, had gotten to the group, and you always want to support your better half, so I told her, you go have fun. You go have fun chasing ghosts. And I get a phone call from my mom, and she didn't even know that Virginia had joined Florida Paranormal Research. She told me that, I don't know what your wife is getting into, but whatever it is, you need to protect her. And the very next meeting, I showed up to Florida Paranormal Research and asked to be part of the group, and I've been with the group ever since.
What made me get into the paranormal field was, since the age of 7, I've been able to see, hear, feel things that were not explained by simple means like scientific measures. And as I got older and things started getting stronger, you kind of have to follow where you're being led, and that's how I was led into getting into the paranormal field, because I believe that with my intuition I can help bring on the scientific side of it and prove to people that these spirits and these ghosts do exist.
I joined Florida Paranormal Research expecting to find answers. What I have found is that we may not have the answers and we may not find them. And that's the thrill of the ride. I mean, I had experiences as a child growing up, and I went after it. What was it and why was it there? Why did it happen?
When I was a midshipman at the Naval Academy, I had a visitation one night right after I finished studying, and there were some things that occurred that I didn't quite understand, and talking with others, I found out a little bit more about it, but in essence, I wanted to know more about why they visit, why they have a reason to try to communicate, and what methods they use, and what methods I could use to facilitate that, make it easier for them, and make the interaction between both of us work.
Well, I had my first experience when I was about 9 years old. I do believe I saw a full-bodied apparition driving by this up north. And I'll tell you what, it was a very awakening experience to see a full-bodied apparition hanging over a grave about 3 feet. And being 9 years old and being pretty innocent at that time, so I had no understanding of what I was seeing, but I knew it wasn't of this earth. So that definitely was, and it got me interested because I was very curious to see what that was and to find out more about it.
Well, basically, the paranormal's been a part of my life since I was about 5 years old. From the time I was 5, I would see things, hear things, things that weren't in a room. I couldn't explain what was going on, but things seemed to follow me basically my whole life. So the paranormal's been a part of my life. It's been a part of my whole life, and I need to find out the answers. To me personally, my life is not complete until I find out answers. I'm very passionate about this, and I really do need to know what's going on.
I feel that I was actually brought into this group by a relative that had passed. I had a dream. He showed me 3 people, and I kind of related to the 3 founding members of the team, which has it kind of piqued my interest. I want to know more. I want to get to the bottom of it. I want more solid answers.
And my wife, TT, she happened to be on the computer one day, and she found Florida Paranormal Research, and signed up, got to meet Gary and Ian, and it was, to me, a match made in heaven. I couldn't be happier. I mean, this is the happiest I've ever been in my life, to be a part of a team that's so professional and wants to find out all the answers.
I want to see more of the research. I want to find out more about the other side. If there is, I do believe there is another side, and I want to find out more about it and understand it better. It's very interesting because I want to know where we may possibly go after we pass on, if there is more to things and so-called life afterwards. So yeah, it's very humbling to see what we do.
Actually, it happened to me by accident. My wife was interested in it, and she came to a meeting. I came with her, and in talking with Ian, the founder, and Gary, the lead investigator, I thought, well, this is kind of what I was looking for a long time ago.
I wanted to find out more about the experiences I had in the past. I do want to do, I enjoy the research part of things, and I've done a little research on some other groups and found that FPR seems to be the most passionate about wanting to find the truth and the answers, whether it's right or wrong, just to find out what's going on the other side. And that's where I want to be. I'm not in it for anything other than just to learn.
Everything that I've done in my entire life has always been black and white. I've always been trained in black and white. It is or it isn't. It's either fact or fiction. Being a former Marine, being a former law enforcement officer, you're always taught that things are in black and white. You're either innocent or guilty. It's fact or fiction, right? But lately in this field, I've realized that there's a lot of colors in the middle that I'm missing.
During these interviews, I asked each member of my team which piece of equipment did they feel held the most promise for the future.
The piece of technology that we're using today that I feel is most promising is the paranormal puck. Mainly because it uses a natural EMF field and turns it into words that sometimes can be validated with the general, history that we do, the research that we do on the property. I mean, we've used this piece of equipment a few times, and it's uncanny how it can point out a note on a floor that no one has ever seen until we break down, and all of a sudden there's a note on the floor with the exact words on it. So, that to me is like a breakthrough in technology.
I feel personal experiences are the most validating for me. It's hard to explain K2s and it's hard to explain EVPs, but when you experience something personal and you and yourself experience it, I mean, I don't think you can put that into words.
There's a couple pieces of equipment I believe that are most promising in the paranormal field, one of them being the paranormal puck. Another one I believe is what they call the Frank's box, which is high and low band frequencies. I think those are probably the two most prominent right now in the paranormal field.